of all, what's your idea about the Tunisian national team?
Really what we can ascertain is what we saw in the match against Denmark, that they're a very good team, that they've got a very good defence, very physical. I know the Australians really rate their strikers. I think that they're a very physical team, and I know that the Australians are expecting a really hard game against Tunisia.
Do you think that Australia has the chance to beat the Tunisian team and go to Denmark with the win?
They certainly believe that they can win the game. They go into every game believing that they can win. And I think now, particularly having been beaten by France and been beaten quite comprehensively, they know that they have to get a win and a draw from their next two games. And they don't want to wait till the game against Denmark to get that win. So they're very much thinking that the match against Tunisia is the opportunity to get the win. And they probably, they know that the rankings suggest that, Denmark is the 10th best team in the world, and I think Tunisia is ranked around 30. Australia's ranked around 38. So they probably feel that Tunisia is a team that they're more level with in terms of skill and world ranking. That said, they have a lot of respect for the Tunisian team. So yes, they obviously think they can win. They're going to go out to win. We'll probably see a different, more attacking style of play from Australia. But by the same token, I think the Australians are expecting that the Tunisians will come out and play a more attacking game, because no doubt the Tunisians believe that they can beat Australia and they need to win as well in order to progress to the knockout stage. So it's going to be a really interesting game.
So we can say that it will be like a final for the two teams.
Absolutely. It's definitely a final for the two teams. Both teams need a win from this game to really try to progress in the competition. Obviously, Tunisia is better off because they've already got 1 point. Australia has no points, but it's do or die. The World Cup can really rest on this game.
What about the strengths and weaknesses of Australia?
Yeah, good question. The strengths are really the unity of the team. They're a very close team. They bond really well and they have a great belief in themselves. The weaknesses, we saw it against France. They make mistakes. They gave the ball away against France in crucial areas, which cost them goals. And I think a lot about they talk about belief and confidence and so on, but we saw in the France game, that when France scored a couple of goals, that Australia's confidence did come down a bit and they weren't pressing as high and so on. So we don't have world-class strikers. We've got players who are very good and fast, but aren't of that international quality. So that is one of the issue. However, they have a lot of belief. They're very fit. They will run a lot and they will hopefully try to play a more attacking game against Tunisia than they did against France. We also saw too that they have the capability of scoring goals. So the one goal that Australia did score against France, which was actually the first goal, was beautifully constructed. And so if they can, try a few long balls, change things up, then they do have a chance.
Finally, what's your prediction of the score of the match?
You know what? I really don't like to make predictions because I kind of think, why don't we just watch the game and find out what happens? I suspect Tunisia might win or a draw, but it wouldn't surprise me if Australia came out and scored a couple of goals too.
You are not optimist for Australia.
I was very optimistic before the France game because this team has spoken so much about how close they are and how much belief they have. But I think what we saw in the end was that if you've got a team of players who aren't playing at the top level, and most of the Australians aren't playing at the top level, then there is just a big gulf in quality. I don't know enough about where the Tunisian players are playing their football, but that is the big problem for Australia, that they just don't have the skill level of some of the other teams in this World Cup. So it's not really a question of optimism. It's not really a question of optimism or otherwise. It's just realism.